Welcome to the sixth season of the Free and Fully Expressed podcast, the space where we don't do surface level inspiration, we do soul deep reclaiming. I'm Jackie B, Shamanic Soul Guide, Mama of Three, and your reminder that you were never meant to just survive. You were always meant to be free, fully expressed, and fiercely alive. Each week, I'll be here dropping raw truths, sacred mirror moments, and rebellious reminders to help you rise into the woman you came here to be. Every episode, raw, real, soul-stirring, blending laughter, vulnerability, and truth-telling that calls women higher while holding them in love. So grab your coffee, take a deep breath, and let's dive in. Today's episode is the spiral of homecoming, reclaiming, breaking, building, and finally living free. Because this isn't about becoming somebody new. It's about remembering the woman you have always been and the spiral home to your wholeness. You don't just become your true self in a straight line. You remember her in a spiral. And every turn of that spiral brings you closer to your power, to your peace, your purpose, and your presence. So if you've been doing the inner devotion and still feel like you're cycling through the same patterns, that's not your fault. That's the spiral. And the spiral is sacred. Today I'm going to walk with you and walk through the exact process of the soul map, so to say, that underlines my life, my work, and this entire movement. But more importantly, the soul map that already underlies your becoming. This isn't about a business strategy or personal growth. This is a remembrance. This is the truth behind why you felt cracked open, cracked down, and called up in ways you couldn't explain. So let's break it down. I used to think that there was something wrong with me because I kept going in these circles and circling back to the same triggers. One season I'd feel empowered and unstoppable. And then a few months later, I would find myself doubting, shrinking, and reacting into ways that I thought I already quote unquote healed. Maybe you felt like that too. Like, didn't I already deal with this? Or why am I back here again? Those type of questions popping up in my head. And for years, I thought that meant that I was failing at healing. But the truth was, I wasn't broken. I was just buried. I know this because I've lived it. I was the girl who wore perfectionism like a crown, people pleased like it was my job, and hyper independence like a badge of honor. I was the eldest daughter, the one everyone relied on, the one who never fell apart, at least not where anyone could see it. But behind the smile, I was suffocating. My worth felt conditional. My voice felt like too much, and my needs felt like an inconvenience. I was surviving, but I wasn't living. And the truth is, you can only hold your breath for so long before your soul demands air. And if you ever felt like the reliable one, the strong one, the one who can't crack because who will catch you, this is for you. What I didn't realize at the time was that my life doesn't move in straight lines. It moves in spirals. And every spiral isn't a setback. It's a sacred return. Every trigger you face is an invitation to reclaim yourself more deeply. Every breakdown you walk through is an opening to rise stronger. The spiral is how we become whole. So let's break down the spiral the way I see it. So phase one, so to say, I want you to remember, you were never broken. It's the reclaim stage, right? So in that, you were never broken. You were just buried. So what does it mean to reclaim? In this phase is where you wake up inside your life and you're whispering, where did I go, right? Or maybe you felt the ache of the knowing that the way you've been living isn't aligned, but you don't know how to change it or where to even go, right? You just feel lost. We're literally stuck almost in these looping survival roles, right? Like the good girl, the fixer, the strong one, and they all start to feel like cages in like autopilot. So this is a stage where we're first acknowledging, right? We're having the self-awareness that there's more and there's part of me missing. So if you feel like you're in this stage, some question to anchor in is asking yourself, where in my life have I been everything for everybody else, but forgotten me? And then phase two is what I call break. Remembering that you're not the wound. You are the woman who walked up to it, walked with it, then walked through it. It's the moment you reclaim yourself, the old stories so when you start reclaiming yourself, the old stories and those systems, they try to cling tighter, right? They hold on tighter. And to see what's going to happen. Because in our mind's job is to keep us safe. Our mind equals the unknown to danger, right? It can't calculate for sure the next steps. So it starts clinging into those old stories and systems where we actively choose a different path. This is where our boundaries are quote unquote tested. It feels messy, scary, and lonely at times. But this is the sacred breaking, the breaking of the illusions, the patterns, the lineage loops. Not that you are broken. It's breaking down the facade so you can shine through. So if you are in this stage, and we're all in all of them, but if this stage is the one that's calling to you, try this out. Take 2 minutes today and name one belief that you are no longer claiming as your own. So a belief that you no longer are taking ownership of, that no longer belongs to you. Say it out loud. This is not mine anymore. Then take a deep inhale in and a deep exhale out. I release this. And just see how that feels. Now let's go on to phase 3, build. You don't rise by becoming somebody new. You rise by building a life that includes all of you. So here in this phase is when we start putting down new roots, right? Or not even necessarily new roots, it's remembering the roots and strengthening them, right? So it's building the solid foundation within yourself, not relying on external to hold you up, but you are deeply rooted into your own essence, your own truth, your own way of being. This is when relationships start to shift, right? Your voice starts to grow, even cracking at times, but you're actively making choices to own more of your voice and more of your truths. Your body starts to feel like home again. As it's going through the break process of we're starting to build that relationship and build that trust because we have bypassed it for a long time, now we're starting to feel a little safer and creating trust and this home feeling. This is where we start creating structure that supports the soul instead of suffocating it, right? Instead of going through autopilot or doing what all the shoulds and musts of life, it's creating from an internal space of what we truly desire. Whatever we want more in life, we are being first, right? We are accepting ourselves and working on that self-love and self-presence and self-relationship, the self-devotion, so then we can mirror that out into the world. Okay, so if you're in this phase, one of the questions that I ask you to reflect on right now is, what is one tiny structure I can create today that honors me? This could be a 5-minute morning breath, a boundary around work-life balance, a nightly ritual with your kids, whatever is coming to you, trust it and give it a shot. This is not like a permanent thing. It's try it on, see if it fits. And even if it feels a little uncomfortable at first, remember you are stretching and expanding. So see if this is in alignment with the direction, the vision that you're bringing to life. Which then brings us to phase 4, live. This is the season of experience and experience and joy that doesn't need to be justified, right? This is where you stop negotiating your wholeness and you let joy, play, radiance, and aliveness back in, right? We stop numbing, because when we numb the pain, we also numb the pleasure, the play, the enjoyment. So it's bringing all of us back online and creating this harmony and balance to be truly alive. Just like a heartbeat goes up and down, right? It doesn't stay flatlined. This is where we get to live and experience and create. And we're going to have stumble moments in remembering and trusting ourselves to be resourceful enough and to have our own back that we can get back up. And we will be able to navigate anything as long as we believe in ourselves, right? And we know that we're not alone in the world. We are very resourced. We have our divine team. We have our personal connections, whatever it is. Even though we may do this work alone per se, we're never alone. So this is where you start feeling safe to be seen, safe to be all of you, where you start actively choosing to be free and fully expressed. Free and fully expressed is not a destination. It is an act of choice, a state of being that you tap into on a regular basis. So if you are in this stage or starting to play in the entry of the stage, I want you to ask yourself, where am I withholding joy until I feel like I earned it? This is how we can expand in this section, right? So then give yourself permission to taste that joy today without conditions. This is how you can start stepping into that live phase a little bit more. So yes, Jackie, that was a lot of words. So let's bring this into an integration and deep remembrance. So here's a soul practice that we can start integrating these phases, right? So I want you to take out a journal and write down the words of the spiral, the 4 words: reclaim, break, build, and live. Then without overthinking it, right? Just trust your intuition. Which word are you feeling the most resonance today in this moment? Because like I said, it shifts. We go through this spiral nonstop. So what is jumping out to you today? And then ask yourself, what am I reclaiming right now? What am I being asked to break? What am I being called to build? And where can I let myself live more fully today? Because once again, we are activating and doing all of these things simultaneously. So it's just figuring out and tapping in and noticing, right? The spiral isn't just a theory, it's your daily map. So here's the truth that you get to hold on to. You will walk this spiral again and again and again. And each time you'll reclaim yourself in new ways. You'll break again, you'll build again, you'll rise again. And each time you come home deeper. You are not behind. You are not quote unquote failing. You are on sacred time. So breathe. Take the next sacred yes. Take the next return. And remember, you do not need to do it alone. This is the exact spiral that we walk through together in Reclaim Your Queen. Because we don't just need more information. We need sacred mirrors, embodiment practices, and containers that can hold your becoming when it feels messy, holy, and everything in between, right? So when you're tired of circling the same patterns alone, if you're ready to stop negotiating your worth and finally spiral home to you, come join us inside of Reclaim Your Queen. I'll drop the links in the show notes if that's calling to you or you want a little more details. But this is a space where I'll be walking beside you, crowned in one hand, mirror in the other, because you're not too much. You were never meant to be less. You were never meant to be just a woman, quote unquote. You were always a queen. So it's time for your rise, your roar, and your sacred return to yourself. So thank you for being here inside of the Free and Fully Expressed movement with me today. And if this episode stirred something inside of you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with your sisters. Tag me at GrowthJackieB on Instagram. Let me know what your biggest takeaway is. Because if you're ready to go deeper into this work, you can reach out to me, head to my website, explore the different ways we can work together in this journey. And remember, you're never just a woman. You are always a queen. And together, we are building a movement of cycle-breaking women who are reclaiming their crowns and changing the world, one deep soul conversation at a time. So until next time, here's to your rise, your roar, and your sacred return to self.